about today. Hey, everyone. It is Barbara Lupe, Nancy, and Hope Tank, Erica Ryder. We're just getting ready for the show, so we thought we'd open it up right now before the actual show, the morning cup, starts. So how was everybody's morning? Because my dog puked all over my bed. So how was yours?
Oh my God. Okay, wasn't that rough? My morning was not that
rough. Compared to?
I've had a tremendous morning compared to yours.
Girl, I think we all did, is what I'm going to say to that, right?
No, there's nothing worse.
Yeah, right. I know. How was yours, Erica, this morning?
It's been busy, but you know, Barb, it's like if that's the worst that happens today, you got it out of the way.
Okay, I already love Erica's like positivity vibe going on this morning.
She's sitting here looking all innocent, like I didn't do nothing.
She's like, Mom, you fed me.
Probably still has a little bit of the yellow. Look at her. Oh, my little morning cup, literally.
Like,
we're just pre-showing, and then we're going to start the actual show where we've got Erica with Hope Tank, a micro business here in Denver, and Nancy McKay. You're one of our insider women, and we can't wait to have a convo with you. What is everybody drinking this morning? I'm doing coffee this time.
What? That's like a first. Okay. Anybody that knows Barb is like, she's like Miss English breakfast tea.
I sure am with a spots of milk.
With a spot, yes, or a heavy pour, depending on the day. So coffee. So you needed a little extra bump in a little extra pep in your step. Then,
I did. You and I are doing some business strategy work later today.
Actually, I'm excited for it.
So I am too. I wish we could be in person. Do you want to tell everybody what went down?
Girl. Okay. So in short, because I know we got to get to our countdown. In short, I went to go get tested for COVID yesterday.
Oh.
So I'm waiting to hear the results. Sadly, my son-in-law got a positive test on, what's today? Tuesday. I was supposed to travel today to go see my mom. So I am celebrating that at least I found out that I was exposed. So either way, I'm in quarantine. But I'm bummed. I got to say, I'm bummed that I'm not being able to go to California to see my mom today. But everything happens for a reason. So I'm going to like hope, like Erica, I'm going to have that hope and just to be like, you know what?
That's right.
I will see her soon enough.
That's right. The thing is, you were really excited about it because your mom is on dialysis. And so she's living a pretty drastic life. She's doing well, but she is on dialysis, and it's
she's a high risk. Really high.
And I know you were really excited about getting out there. So
it's been forever. We were supposed to go out in summer, and it didn't happen. So, well, let's do this.
Yeah, let's do this. So everyone, this was the pre-show. We're going to go off screen and we're going to start the show. And so we will talk to you guys here just a moment. And we're excited to have the morning. How do you like our new opening? I got so excited. I clicked it again. I was like, what? What?
French is all I'm going to say to that.
Oh my goodness. Welcome to the Morning Cup. I'm Barbara. I'm sitting at chapter 54. And this is my work wife, Guadalupe Hirt.
Ooh, very nice.
Who is at
47.
47. We are the women of Second Act. And this show comes to you live every Thursday morning at 9 a.m. right here in our Facebook group page for Second Act Women 40-50 plus, and my personal LinkedIn page at Barbara L. Brooks, in case you want to catch us there. So today we have quite the day lined up. This is a 30 to 35 minute show because we get excited and keep going.
The flow of conversation,
right? I got to tell you, your hair is rocking today. Rocking.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm loving it. And I'm sporting today a little.
He's looking at the cool look. Okay.
Yes. My dog puked on my bed, and so I had to, I had to whip up my hair really quick instead of putting it
right back at
I know, my Lord. But as Erica was saying earlier with Hope Tank, if that's the worst thing that happens to me today, okay.
Consider it a good day.
Exactly. So today's hot topics are if you're a business owner or if you're in marketing, digital marketing, any of those aspects where you need to grow your business, we are going to take a step back and briefly talk about the differences between marketing versus branding. There is a very big difference, yet they affect both, and both have to have a strategy behind them. So we'll briefly talk about that. And then that'll lead into also the class that I'm teaching next week for everyone. Then when it comes to life and style, because we like to cover all aspects of the woman over 40 and 50, you're going to be talking about the pandemic and the damn sweet.
The reality we're all facing right now. You got Ritz crackers. You're such a dork.
So we'll be talking about that on the Morning Cup. And then lastly, Throwback Thursday. We want you to think about and post later, once we post a question, what was your childhood board game? And Lupe and I will share ours later. We did this earlier on a couple months back and it was fun. So every Thursday we'll do a Throwback Thursday, since we are loving we are from the 80s, 70s, 60s, all of that. Good morning, Lisa Sharp. We are so happy to have you. Our guests today are Erica Ryder with Hope Tank, and we have Nancy McKay, who's one of our insiders. I'm still trying to finish my Ritz cracker. So let's jump right in.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So this is the Morning Cup, and we are talking marketing versus branding. If you're starting a company, or or you're working in marketing or branding or creative or graphic design in a corporation, you might already have the answer to this. But if you don't, let's talk about this really briefly, because it is imperative that you understand the differences between the two. So today, brands have come to encompass so much more than marketing, to include your product and service, right? The quality you provide, how you treat your customers, your clients, whether you're B2B or B2C, it's all about the total experience provided by your company. That's what branding is about. It's about the tone, the tonality, the personality, the colors, the fonts, all of that. Now, that's what you have to have in place, ladies, prior to having your marketing strategy in place, because that's what leads first and foremost when it comes to branding and marketing, is people have to have a better perspective or a bird's eye view of really who and what you are. And that's what branding does. Effective marketing. So you've got the branding, which is really about your perception, how you are perceived by the public or your clients or what have you. But then the marketing is, here's marketing, here's the umbrella. You've got public relations, community relations, client relations, which is customers, I guess you could say. You've got, sales, media, advertising. So yes, all of that falls underneath effective marketing strategies. And you have to employ all of those tactics to get the brand exposure when out there trying to boost your sales. And so, those marketing activities are the things you do. The brand specifically is how you do or your products are known for or perceived in the marketplace. So know that difference. It's just really important for you to understand that. And I'm curious, putting a massive foundation under your baggy,
Mike,
what is this? I just got it. So yes, that is the difference between marketing and branding. And you and I have been working very hard on our branded message.
Yeah, and I think one thing to kind of note is that you can't, there's personal branding, and then there's corporate branding, and then there's a complementary kind of how they both coexist. I mean, the idea being that it's not something that you all of a sudden create once and then it stays. Like it continues to evolve. I know we've had several renditions and it's just evolved over time from, the time that we launched to now where we're at right now with our brand. And so it's something that, you continuously test, tweak here and there. So make sure that you know that going in so that you don't think it's like a one and done type of deal too.
Absolutely. And your brand can continually evolve.
Yeah.
And so it's best to not only continue to grow and understand who you are, but do what we are doing. Do brand strategy or business strategy, marketing strategy work quarterly. We're doing that later today to talk about the future. Yes, we're so excited of Second Act Women to end the year strong. And then we're talking 2021. And so that's really imperative that when you're looking at branding and marketing your company and growing your bottom line, because ultimately that is what you're doing especially if you're in business for yourself, it's a passion project. You can't just have this passion sit there and you're working and not really having a roadmap and you're hoping you're going to build sales because you don't have a plan in place. You have to have that brand strategy, that brand in place, your marketing in place, a sales plan, and the like. So continue growing, which leads me to the fact that, so that's the differences between marketing and branding. Now, we're leading a class next week on Canva. It will be a 3-part session that I'm leading, and it will start with the basics of building out your brand kits, your colors, your fonts, and all and the like. And then we're going to go into creating really dynamic social media posts and presentations just in time for the holiday season, especially if you are a retailer or you have a product or service to sell. So I'm excited about that. You'll see that. We'll post the link below. Insiders, Second Act Women Insiders, get that class for free. And the others, it's only $29. So basically like $9 a class or 3 parts. And you're going to walk away with lots of good stuff. Right, Lupe?
Excited. Yeah, no, what a way to kind of end the year, but kick off the new one on a good branding foot.
On a good note. So, all right. So on the Morning Cup this morning, I'm just really excited to welcome this woman to the virtual live stage. Her name is Erica Ryder. She is 42 and the founder of Hope Tank right here in Denver, Colorado. Lupe, do you want to do the introduction?
Yes, it would be my honor. I love giving props to people that are doing awesome things in our community, especially right now, given the times and everything. So it's my distinct pleasure to welcome Erica Ryder, as you were mentioning, our 42-year-old founder of Hope Tank, born and raised in Boston. I'll be curious to see
in the house
or not. She was a social worker turned small business owner, and she has been giving back of herself to the community by working with youth. She's experiencing homelessness. She's worked in the foster care system, helping rural families and low-income older, adults. She's just a woman who is so just giving of herself and continues to add just great impact in our community. In 2012, she founded Hope Tank, which if you live in the greater Denver area and you have not visited the store, it is a must. And she's going to talk to you a little bit about all the ways that you can experience her store. But the store is really designed to connect retail with nonprofits and basically create opportunities for you to go in, shop, buy some cool novel things. And she's going to give us a little sneak peek of her store here in a little bit. But then with proceeds going back to support these nonprofits and organizations so that they can continue to do good work in the community. So with that said, let's welcome Erica.
Hello.
Cheers to you.
We're good.
We're good. And I love your mug this morning.
If you're a Schitt's Creek fan, this is our Moira mug. Which, to be fair, we're all sold out right now, but it's coming back. We'll have them. People are very upset about it.
More coming in, especially before the holidays. And Erica, let's take a step back. You were a single mother at the time that you started Hope Tank, I believe. No, you weren't single at the time.
I wasn't at the time. I was very pregnant, though.
That's even bigger deal.
I was going to say, yeah.
Listen, in 2012, you were very pregnant.
Yeah.
Hope Tank, what in the world made you start this company at a time where your life and your world was about to change considerably.
Yeah, I mean, I always warn people, like, this is not necessarily the recipe that I would recommend. I was a social worker. I had just gotten married and got pregnant and like all the things in the same month. And I worked in the foster care system. And my husband at the time got laid off. And then our agency, we found out, was being closed as we went through a federal audit. And I had always played with the idea of like, what is this community space that we could engage people in the work we were doing? Because, you know, for years people would be like, oh, it's so nice that you work in foster care. It's so nice you do these things in the community. And I would say, well, this is your community. Like, these are your kids too. And how do we help bring people to like kind of, you know, be aware that they are a part of the ecosystem, whether they participate or not. And so honestly, I was like, well, it can't get scarier. Like, we're having a baby. We're both laid off.
Let's do this.
You know, and so I did, originally I opened on Santa Fe in the art district. I was there for 10 years. Little teeny spot. And I was still doing social work throughout. And then I kind of had that crossroads moment of like, I either need to take this thing full tilt or, you know, kind of call it. And so I had the opportunity to end up on Broadway, and we've been here for almost 7 years. So it'll be 9 years in February.
Oh, congratulations.
The success mark. You have passed the 18 months or what have you, or the stat that they traditionally say companies don't pass, or a large percentage, like 90% of businesses don't pass, you know, that, let alone having a brick and mortar. And by the way, when she said Broadway, for those of you that are not in Colorado, that's in Denver. It's not Broadway in New York City.
No, not yet. Not yet. You know, but on that note, so Erica, so talk a little bit about, I mean, so you have, like Barbara saying, hit that success marker, you've passed it, you've pushed it, but COVID really kind of did a little number on you too. I mean, it did a number on a lot of small business, especially micro businesses, which is where we all tend to fill in the majority of our women here on Second Act. So tell us a little bit about how you got creative and are now pushing through COVID.
It's I mean, I'm not gonna lie, we had to close for 87 days. And we had to board up our shops. But I didn't want people to like forget about us. So I threw together a little crowd fund. We helped pay for some other businesses to board up. And then we paid a bunch of artists to do murals on the outside, because it was like, we're still in here. Like, those boards were frankly quite a lot of women. Many of us I am now a single parent of a first grader and a third grader who are doing virtual learning.
Which means you're also a homeroom teacher.
Yeah.
Why?
And a lunch lady and an after school.
Like, a lunch lady.
Yeah, you that, right?
After school coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's it, right? Like, I am not a sugar coater. I am not the most like typical philanthropic kind of warm and fuzzy person. I came from the nonprofit sector, and there are a lot of really serious issues that we're dealing with that COVID has now kind of opened a lot of people's eyes to, but it was always there. And so now more than ever, like what we're doing, I think is really important. And so so I launched an online store, which was the #1 complaint that we've had for 9 years. And mind you, I went from a staff of 5 to me again. So it's sort of like beginning again. I thankfully have this incredible woman, Shannon, who worked for me before, and she works for the schools. And so she was able to like work out of the shop and then help me. And she literally like saved the business because it's been a lot of transition. So we launched the online store. We are still doing curbside pickup. I have had to adjust my hours because again, it's just me.
Right.
And so that has been, you know, a lot of this stuff has been more psychologically damaging because it's like, you know, I've worked so hard to get people to, you know about us and people are used to us being available, like very available, because we are open 7 days a week, 9 hours a day. And then we are doing private shopping. So we've had folks who are immune compromised or people who are pregnant or have little ones, like new babies who they would prefer to not be amongst everyone. And so those are happening on Wednesdays. People just message me and we make it happen. So we've definitely adapted. However, as we were talking about before we went live, like a lot of folks are, there's a lot of promotion around like ordering food. We know that Denver would not give up their weed and their booze.
That's what's going to get us through COVID.
What did we have? We had prohibition for all of 2 hours, I think, back in May.
I think everybody had a heart attack. Like, we were the long lines that ended up happening as a result when they said supposedly they were going to do that. We're like, oh, we can't do that. But no, you're saying, you're saying that.
So, and people are doing that. They are ordering, they're doing pickup. And unfortunately, like in our neighborhood, it's like they'll go grab a coffee and then they aren't.
They go back home.
They're leaving. That's the hard part.
Erica, we would love for you to show us the store. As we're talking, we're speaking with Erica Ryder with Hope Tank right here in Denver, who is now a global company because she has, if there's, we always say that's, good times and in bad times, there are things that can happen good, right? So she has swiveled and went online. So let's take a peek at the store.
Look at all those cute little stuff everywhere.
Oh my God. Christmas is almost here.
So we have a little something for everybody. This is so awkward with my head in there. Sorry.
Okay.
And I love that idea. I mean, totally. In time for the holidays, whichever holiday you celebrate, the idea that you could come in here, buy something novel and cool, as well as create impact as a result of your purchase. It's like a win-win, slam dunk. So now that you've gone online, you don't have to be here in Denver to buy it.
So by the way, your friend Debbie Shear and our friend of the show, said, not only do you sell global products, but she does too. But she doesn't sell products; she sells herself. Sounds sexier, doesn't it?
Oh, Debbie, thank you for that morning dose of comedy.
Here's a good example though. Debbie is another small business owner. She is a friend. But she's doing what we all really need, which is continuing to mention our businesses everywhere she goes.
And humor. Humor.
It's huge.
Yes.
I love your store, girl. It's beautiful.
So, and just, so for context, we have everything from like men's stuff. I just had somebody do a marketing evaluation and I kept saying, we have more men who shop than women. And they were like, that's not possible. And we do. So they're shopping both for themselves, but also for, their wives and their girlfriends and their sisters and baby gifts. So we literally have everything from baby gifts to books. We do obviously, our store is a lot around social justice, and so we do carry quite a lot of products that reflect that as well too.
So let's before we end this beautiful segment, Debbie had mentioned, and you had mentioned to me too in the back office about your crowdfund campaign and your ornaments. Tell us a little bit about that, and then we have a really interesting question for you for Throwback Thursday. So tell us about that. We've been putting on screen, Erica, where people can find you online.
Awesome. So prior to COVID, I had this idea to start making custom swag. And so obviously took a little hit there.
Right.
But we are launching today a crowdfund. And so the kinds of things like we can make, this is like one of our little signs. We can make, I'm making this custom gift box for one of our
very cool.
Our local activists. We're making, this is this, everybody might really
learning in progress. Please don't ring unless you have what? Unless you have
this will have a little ribbon and you can put a door hanger. We're doing so I'm doing stuff for realtors and
those are things, Erica, those are things that people get as part of your crowdfund campaign as well, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So tell them where they can find your crowdfund campaign. Are you through? Yeah.
If you just follow our social, honestly, that's the best way. So we're on Instagram and on Facebook. And we'll be it's an Indiegogo. It's nothing fancy because, we're running on, on
a one-woman show.
Exactly. So yeah. But what a great way to stand up, help this micro business kind of do her thing and continue to just spread amazingness in the community. So if you can get out there and support, even a few dollars makes a huge difference. So
absolutely.
And come up.
Yes.
Like we have, it is Christmas. I don't know if you can see. Christmas has sprung.
Hey, Erica, I have one last question for you.
Yes.
I would like, pardon me. We want to know, because it's Thursday, Throwback Thursday, what was your childhood board game?
Okay.
What was your favorite childhood board game?
This is the deal. Monopoly. But now that I'm a mom, I do not enjoy Monopoly.
It takes forever.
And it becomes a negotiation strategy in my house of like, how about something else? So it's amazing the things that you reminisce on as a kid. And you're like, oh my God, I think my parents probably felt like this.
It's like hours sometimes. It takes forever.
But my brother and I could play it. That and Risk. We would be playing all day because I come from a board, and I think you do too, Lupe, a board game family. Listen, we want to thank you so much for being with us here today. To support her company on Indiegogo and or follow her all throughout on her socials. It's Hope Tank. It is a retail store and online store that is bringing hope to so many. And so we want to thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Erica, you rock. We love you.
Yes,
and thank you for your support of Second Act Women.
Yep.
And they do. So there is a discount.
Oh, yes.
For Second Act. And so if they go on the website or in person, you literally it's just Second Act.
Awesome.
You got it.
Easy enough. All right. Do some shopping, ladies.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. I love her. She's an activist and everything. And that is one woman making big waves in this city. And so,
absolutely.
Yeah, love her. So we're on to our next subject.
I feel the pounds coming on already.
Girl. Let me just show. We're talking about the pandemic, so I will admit it's happening. It's happening.
You wear it so well. Like, I'm not gonna lie. You always got the style going. So just because we put on a little bit more pounds doesn't mean you can't look stylish. I guess that's what it comes down to right there. But so let's talk about those damn freaking cravings, right? So we were finding out, we were kind of doing a fun little search at what is going on with this at-home experience that we're all in right now. And what we found were some pretty interesting, perhaps maybe in some cases alarming rates of sugar intake. So we wanted to share just to kind of raise awareness and perhaps help you make better decisions next time you go to reach for those sweet treats. So what did we find? We found that 28% of Americans say that they have eaten more baked goods than they normally would ever have in the past 6 months, according to a nationwide survey by General Mills Food Service.
Yeah.
So let's break this down, shall we? And then we're going to ask you a question while I'm kind of giving you some stats. Why don't you start thinking about what's your favorite craving and chat us up. You can drop, a little note here into the chat, and let's kind of start to disclose what we're all munching on behind the scenes. But here's kind of a breakdown. So no shocker, cookies are the front runner. They came in at a whopping 57%. With one hot batch, like Marie kind of contributing to that market. I can understand why.
OneHotBatch.com, guys.
Right? A little plug for our other insider. Bread, I'm guilty. I love all types of bread. Came in at 50%. You throw some cheese on there and it just adds up the calories, right? And then cake, rounded it out at third with 42%. And what was interesting was that we're also consuming more donuts and brownies, 36 and 35% respectively. Muffins and cupcakes come in at 31 and 29%, and biscuits and scones rounded out at 27 and 10%. Okay, I gotta say, I probably
wait, let's back up. I get the biscuits, but why scones? What is? They have no taste.
Girl, what are you talking about? You just bite your tongue right now. Biscuits are the bomb, man. You throw those with some chicken.
Oh, honey, I'm not talking about biscuits. I love me some biscuits and gravy. I'm talking about scones.
Oh,
scones.
Well, you warm them up.
Understand that?
Warm them up. That's the trick. I don't like them when they're cold because you're right. They're kind of like brittly. But if you warm those bad boys up with a nice cup of Joe, they actually go down really nice. I gotta say, I like Starbucks' blueberry ones.
Okay, so here's a good one. Dark chocolate with sea salt.
Yeah.
Ooh. I'm starting to like dark chocolate a little more than usual, but I'm a milk chocolate girl.
Really?
No. And Nancy McKay, who's up next, is saying cookies.
Okay, that was a really good impression of Cookie Monster. Kudos to you. Okay, talk about another throwback.
I know, right? I want to know what everybody else is craving because thankfully, it's funny, before we started this segment, we were trying to figure out what do we have in our pantries right now. All I could find were Ritz crackers and Trader Joe's flaxseed because I'm trying to, watch my sugar intake.
You're watching the pandemic.
So, for me though, I'm brownies, but I like the crusty parts. I don't care for the innards. I want the outside of the brownie.
I'm with you on that.
I love a good cake. Barbara Brooks can make some carrot cake. Oh my Lord. Also, everyone's going to send me a good scone recipe. All right.
And that's my problem. My problem is I could eat anything really that's sugary, to be honest. If I was to pick, like if I was to say, hey, you only have one thing to bring with you on the island type of deal, it would be cheesecake. I'm a sucker for cheesecake.
New York cheesecake. I don't even know.
Right? And then you put the toppings on it?
Yes. You know what mine is when we could go to restaurants? Mine is creme brulee. And I don't need I just want that blown, torched, sugary topping. And
I'm hungry. I'm hungry. And it's only 9:30. I'm probably going to have to now go to the store and buy some sweet treats and contribute to the pandemic effect.
Yes. And a little man ice cream. Yes. Okay. Let me tell you before we head into the next thing, I'm going to tell you guys a little secret. If you are craving, even though we need to watch our pounds during the pandemic. So I just discovered that Donor Dash now has a shop inside of it. So I was using an app called GoPuff that a friend of mine told me about. But now I was going down to order some Chipotle and I noticed that DoorDash now has a shop where you can get ice cream and cookies.
Oh my God.
All those treats delivered right to the door.
Love how these services continue to evolve and they're like, you know what? Why don't you round out your Chipotle order with some dessert?
Right.
You deserve it.
I knew what just fell on me. Anywho, okay, so that was really great advice, info, all of that. We have to watch the sugar cravings, the cravings overall, and we wish everybody a healthy holiday season coming up. But I will be indulging.
I was going to say, let's get real though. We're going to eat them. So what we're saying is be mindful of it. That's all that
Right. Mama Brooks can make some cookies now. I'm not the cookie maker. She is. I'll do Pillsbury and cut those babies and put them in the oven. Anywho, let's go into this is the morning cut. We do this every Thursday morning. We are so happy to have people: Lisa Sharp, Debbie Shear, Dina Jones, Nancy McKay, who is next.
Yes.
Intro. We love this new insider. She's a powerful.
Yeah, no, we are completely just thrilled to be welcoming Nancy McKay. She is, in case you didn't know, she is a needlepoint and weaver turned oil and gas exec, now entrepreneur, and we're excited to welcome Ms. Nancy to the show.
Hello, Nancy.
Hello. Hello.
Nancy, this is your second time on the show because we had a Gab Fest right before biz+life Con.
Yep.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Yes, and I was like, okay, but you got to come back now and share a little bit about your story.
Lovely.
So let's jump in. You had some pretty pivotal things, some quite impactful things happen to you in 2009, and then again in 2015 that changed your life and changed your business.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, on Friday the 13th of March 2009, after happy hour and an argument with my husband, I decided that everybody would be better off without me. And, I had been over drinking for a lot of years and had kind of tumbled into the realm of alcoholism, and decided that since everyone would be better off without me, I put a gun to my head. And so fortunately, the safety was on, and that took care of my alcohol consumption. I haven't had a drink since.
Wow.
And so, it was a huge wake-up call for me, and it's the best thing I've ever done was getting sober. I think that's the
Nancy, there are so many women that I'm watching that have gotten sober, and I won't name them in case, although many of them have not been private about it, even on LinkedIn. And some have gotten sober, for various reasons, whether it was an addiction or simply for health reasons.
Right.
There have been many. And for you, for God to have that safety on, to give you a second chance at life and now be a survivor, in a sense of that kind of that tragic thought, is pretty powerful. And for you to turn that into help other women. And how are you doing that?
Well, so what happened in 2015 was I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. And after I went through that, my perspective on life changed. Even though I wasn't diagnosed with a late stage cancer, I was, it brings your mortality up and kind of smacks you in the face. And I realized that I wasn't happy with my job. I had a great job, but I wasn't happy. And I knew that I wasn't, I wasn't feeding my soul, and I really wanted to do something that meant something.
Yes.
And so I started training to become a life coach. And now I help women who are, stuck in a cycle of unhealthy habits, behaviors, and addictions, and try to, I help them move through it. And hopefully before they get to the point where they've hit a rock bottom like I did.
I mean, and how beautiful is that? I sit here and I listen to you that many would say, I'm going to not want to share my, story. I'm not going to, for whatever reason, I'm embarrassed. I don't, ashamed, whatever it might be. But it's so beautiful and so brave. Thank you for sharing, first and foremost, that sometimes it's in tragedy that we find our true calling to create the impact that we were put on this earth to do. Okay. And really that's where your path has taken you now. So. Yeah. Amazing that you're now devoting your life to helping women who once were there avoid it altogether or get off the ledge.
Yep.
And I want to take a step back and say, this is a testament to women over 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, that we are now taking back who we are. We don't care what the outside world says. We are spreading our worth and our knowledge and our value to help others. So I don't care if the world knows that I try to commit suicide. I'm saying this metaphorically, or speaking about your story. You, and this is the power of who we are as badass women over 40 and 50, where we are here to literally share our story and help other people. And that's what Second Act Women, and that's what people like you are about. And I just am so blessed to have you in this community to continue to share that.
Well,
like, I'm sure you have helped somebody right now who is watching by sharing your story.
I hope so. And, you know, that's the goal, is that I, you know, if I can help one person today, then my work here is done, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
no sickness as a special.
Yeah. So on that note, tell us, you've got a special offer for our ladies. Tell us how they can reach out should they need the help that you're wanting to provide.
I do. Well, I am offering 20% off for a 3-hour Equus coaching session for anybody here in Colorado. And so if you step into the round pen with a horse, you learn your truth. And so even if it's not an addiction that you're dealing with, if it's something, you know, anything that you're struggling with, you will get to the bottom of it with the help of a horse. And
wonderful. Well, we will post that promo into the Facebook page. So if you missed it, take advantage of it. She's a fantastic coach and just with a great story and big heart. So before we wrap up, we wanted just to kind of throw out a question because we posed it to Erica, but curious. All right, throwing back a little bit on Thursday. What was your favorite board game growing up?
Well, I think it was probably Sorry.
I love
Yes.
And we play a version of it now with marbles, but yeah. And unfortunately, you know, before I got my badass on, I used to say sorry. Well, I probably still do to a degree, but I say sorry a lot. So it's kind of, you know.
Wow.
What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know.
We know what you mean.
So. We know exactly what you mean.
Yes.
We just want to thank you for being here, and
thank you for inviting me.
Yes, and for being who you are, and we're just thankful to have you. And please stick around. We need to take a picture with you so that we can repost this to YouTube. So stick around in the back office, in the green room, the virtual room.
And for joining us, Nancy, too.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
I love it. And we're going to share what our favorite board game is in a second. Lupe, let's talk about what's coming up with Second Act Women and the excitement.
Yes. Oh, girl. Okay, drum roll, right? You that already saw. We were made in a South by Southwest again. As some of you may have known, we applied back in 2020. We were accepted, but then you know what happened? So they didn't have it. They now are going on to a digital platform for 2021. We submitted, and ladies, we were accepted into the round. So now it's all on your shoulders to help us get the votes that we need to rise to the top, because we're right now in the panel picker. Our focus is on, obviously, you all ladies. So the future is female 40 plus is our topic. And so we will post the link for you in this stream, or excuse me, in the string. So if you haven't yet, please vote for us. We'd love your support.
And you know what? There is another Second Act woman who has also submitted.
That's
Danielle
right.
Nicholson.
Danielle,
so,
yes.
Yes, we'll post hers as well. They do require that you log in or you sign up for South by Southwest, meaning just register your name and email. Just delete it after you vote. We just really need the votes because we're going bigger this year. Last year it was a meetup, and this time we're hitting the actual big stage with your help.
So we love your support. In addition to that, we've got some great news talking about the holidays with Erica. We are going to be launching a holiday gift guide, and it's all to highlight and promote and endorse women in Second Act that have got businesses that are offering products, services that you could gift or gift yourself during the holidays. It's going to be launching on Black Friday. Learn how you can participate at SAW.com. But we'd love to have you if you're an
SecondActWomen.com.
At SecondActWomen.com. Yes, yes. You abbreviated it. So I was like, oh. But check it out. It's a really great way to shop as well as to promote your business. So more details will be coming here shortly. All right. And so then now comes the time when we get to share what our board game was back in the day.
What was yours?
You know what? When we first did this, I think I said it was Go Fish because it was the cards and I really loved Go Fish. But then you're like, that's not a board game. So honestly, I was a big fan of Candyland. I mean, I love the colors.
You stole mine.
Well, that's why I was saying when we first shared it, I'm like, oh, I should share mine because that was the one I liked. So it sounds like I think that was a favorite amongst many kids at that time.
It was. No, I get it because there was something. Okay, and I guess we have to qualify it because there was elementary school, way young, and then for me, I was not only Candyland, but I loved Monopoly and Risk. Of all games.
I never played Risk.
Yes. Yeah. And spades with the family, spades, card game. Yeah.
Yeah. My family wasn't a board game family. So it was more with my friends that I ended up playing in. They were all big with Candyland. So
every Christmas, that was our thing. We got a new game for Christmas. And then after Christmas, the Christmas meal, and this sounds so hokey and so like, Leave It to Beaver, but we literally would get the board games out. The friends would come over. Yeah. So that's us. But listen, this has been a wonderful show as usual. We hope that you as viewers enjoyed yourself. We want to see you here every Thursday morning to hear something about life, business, style, and hear from other women over 40 and 50 who are doing big things to keep you encouraged and powered up that we will, watch us.
Damn straight.
So, my Thursday, right? My Thursday thought of the day before Lisa closes this out and tells you who our next guest is the purpose of life is not only to be happy, y'all, but it's to matter, it's to be productive, it's to be useful, and it's also to make some difference in life that you have lived yourself, lived at all, that you have lived at all. So what's your purpose? What will you be doing? How are you making a difference? Decide on that if you haven't already, and let's get her done. Let's end the year out boastfully and bigly, and may you all be blessed.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. Well, there you go. There's your challenge for thoughts for the week, for the month, perhaps maybe even. So share if you get inspiration from that thought. But wanted just to thank you for joining us today. A big, huge thank you to Erica and to Nancy for joining us live and sharing the impact that they're creating in their communities. Join us next week as we welcome Makisha Booth with Sister Biz, who will be talking a little bit about her entrepreneurship journey and inviting you to learn more about her organization. Until then, hope you have a fantastic rest of your weekend. Have many blessings, and we'll see you here next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.